Let's get ready for Monday Mortgage Minute with your hosts, Tom McNamara and Bruce Woodburn.
And we're off and running. The last week of the year.
It is. We're getting ready to have Happy New Year, and it's 2026. I'll tell you what, man, at the beginning of this year, I think January felt like 3 or 4 years. And then all of a sudden, like from February on, the year is just gone. And here we are. It's the end.
It is. But I'm always glad to get rid of it. Let's start afresh when I see a lot of positive things happening. We've talked about taxes. I want to talk a little bit more about property taxes at the end of this segment. Homeowners insurance. I got a lot of information on homeowners insurance that could be beneficial. We have interest rates have come down a little bit. They're still dropping a little bit more. The bond market is really getting its legs on. Inflation is down. Now, I'm a little bit concerned about inflation after the holidays because it usually is down leading up to it, and then it pops right back up after it. So it remains to be seen if we can keep that inflation number down. Because as you know, as that inflation goes up, so do interest rates. So even though the Fed could be dropping rates, if that inflationary number stays up, it keeps those rates higher. So keep your fingers crossed that we see some improvement on that. But I wanted to talk to you about homeowners insurance too. Because, you know, homeowners insurance has been such a racket. It's been a racket for the customer. It's been a racket for the insurance company. And then you got these roof claim companies and attorneys that have been capitalizing on it. So DeSantis really has been fighting against this whole insurance thing, and he needed to, because it's a real disaster for Florida, Arizona, California. I mean, we've been hit. And I think if in reality, I think Florida homeowners insurance and auto insurance is at the highest. I don't know if there's any other state worse than we are.
Our car insurance, we are second. Louisiana is actually worse. And here's a really interesting stat that I know everybody thinks the insurance companies are evil, and I can't disagree with you in a lot of ways because I have a personal story that I can tell you about. But in case you didn't know, we have 9% of the overall insurance claims in the entire country, which is quite a bit for one state. We have 79% of all the insurance lawsuits. 79% in one freaking state.
That's insane.
Common lawsuits.
So DeSantis has really helped on this because he closed the loophole for tort reform. So now this is opening things up and making it much better. You also have the assignment of benefits, meaning that when you get a knock on your door and it's a gentleman or a lady saying, hey, I just saw your roof. It looks like there may be some damage to it. We're putting a new roof on the house 2 doors down on the Smiths family. And you know what? We got their insurance company to cover all of it. All I need you to do is sign these forms and we'll get it all paid for. You don't have to pay anything. And you're like, well, God, my roof's 13 years old. And yeah, there is some bad shingles up there, but it's not from roof damage. A branch didn't come through your roof. A tornado didn't take it off. It's wear and tear. And yet these claim companies are going after your insurance company. And did you know when you sign that form, that's an assignment of benefits. You no longer are going to get the claim. It's not your money. Now, that doesn't mean they're not going to give you any money for your claim, but it doesn't mean they are either. And there was a 30-time multiplier. Did you know that? So if you had a $10,000 claim, that could be $300,000 that an attorney could collect. And what they were doing is dragging it out. So the insurance company just finally buckled and paid the doggone thing. Now, it doesn't mean the attorney got $300,000 on a $10,000 claim, but he could have got $30,000 and you got the $10,000. So this is all being closed down so that these things don't happen anymore. And I think DeSantis has done a great job. It's not perfect yet, but it's
I think he's done a good job. He's done a good job. Let's not give him great yet. I think I'm
not going to give him great. I'm not going to give him great, but he understands the problem and he's tackling it. But these are legal issues that these attorneys create, and they just keep finding loopholes to screw the general population.
But you can't do assignment of benefits anymore, though, right? That's been
Right.
removed. Yeah, I'll tell you what. My personal anecdote to this is I had some roof damage on my house, and it was legit. I had a leak, and I had a guy go up there and patch it, and it was an older roof, and I applied for a replacement through a roofer. Now, I didn't do the assignment of benefit, but I did have them give me an estimate and tell me that where it was damaged, and we submitted it and went back and forth with the assessor that
Public
came out and looked
adjuster.
at it. Public. Well, we had an adjuster and from the insurance company, and then I paid for a public adjuster and blah blah blah. Long story short, 3 years fighting with Universal Property and Casualty. 3
Is
years.
your roof
right?
leaking during this time?
No, like I said, I got it patched, but 3 years of fighting with them. They raised my rate, right? They doubled my insurance from $4,000 to $8,000,
Oh,
right?
God.
So I paid them $4,000 times 3. And at the end of the day, you know how much I got out of my roof?
How much?
$12,000.
So they just
Right.
gave you your money back.
They gave me my money back. At the end of that, I was like, damn, I should have just paid for the roof out of my pocket and been happier. But I won't do business with that company anymore. So I have several rental properties that had that same company. I changed them all.
Good for you.
And the other thing is,
I hope you have
switched-
better success with the other ones.
I hope I do too. I switched insurance companies as well after I got the roof replaced, and my rate went not only down to $4,000 where it was before, but it actually went lower than 3. I'm at like 2,800.
Oh, that's great. That's
Yeah.
great. So
So
yeah, a lot of these insurance companies, they're out to get their profit. They don't want to pay claims. And some of them are better than others. I don't know which insurance company you used, but you got to be careful with that. And I don't know which one you could trust more than the other one, to be honest with you.
yeah,
It's not your agent that placed it. It's the insurance company that you're filing the claim against.
That's right. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. And my advice is always to look at multiple companies, make sure you get one that's A-rated because they're going
Right.
to have the funds to be able to do repairs. If we get a major storm that comes through, they get billions of dollars worth of claims. And
Sure they do.
that can put somebody out of business. If it does, you might not ever get your money back. There's reinsurance and backup things and all that stuff, but it can really hurt you.
Even reinsurance is difficult for these companies right now. Reinsurance has become a major problem for them. But I think a lot of these things are getting better. I see that Citizens has actually tightened up their requirements to get people to move toward the private sector and get more regular insurance. And it's actually working because some of these companies are actually bringing down their premiums. And I was talking to Tom the other day, and he was reading that some of these insurance companies could potentially drop their premiums by double digits.
Double digits, I know. So if you get 10% decrease from what you're paying today, if you're paying $4 or $5,000, that's $400 or $500 off the policy, as opposed to going up, which is what they've been doing, right? They've been going up $400 or $500. So if it goes backwards $400 or $500, that's like $1,000.
Yeah, that could really make a difference. But you get the benefit if you get insurance coming down. We get this property tax thing coming about that you and I have talked about, and you created a wide-reaching blog, and you got a lot of people interacting with your blog on this. We've covered a lot about taxes. We talked a lot about where it's going to come from, whether it's going to pass or not, who's going to benefit from it, what the obstacles are going to be, what the possible negative effects can be, what the positive effects can be. So there's a lot to talk about on that. So I do think you should go to Tom's blog and check that out and give him your feedback. We are poking holes in this thing, but we're also looking for opportunities at the same time.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, we'll have a link to the YouTube channel where I blog about this, and I'll tell you what, man, the reactions are what you would expect, right? There's people that are screaming on one side, screaming on the other. I've been called all kinds of names about it just because I'm talking about it, as if I'm the one making the decision,
Right. People just don't have anything better to do, Tom.
I know,
So
I
listen
know.
to it. And you know what? If you don't like what he says, then put it in the blog. We're open to everything here.
More importantly, on the blog, I tell people, if you don't like what the people in Tallahassee are talking about doing, freaking tell them. Don't tell me. I'm not going to do anything about it. You tell them. You tell them what you hate about it.
Hopefully Ron DeSantis is listening to this right now, and we'd like to invite him onto this show because we want to hear the pros, the cons. We want to address the obstacles. We're going to address all of it. I'm going to see if I can get Ronnie on the phone and we can do a clip with that. Maybe he can help us out, understand a little bit more about how they're going to navigate that, because I can really see some challenges. And I can, even when you put the pencil to it, it can benefit some and it can hurt others. And it really
I
is
do the
very
math in a
different.
video that just came out yesterday. I do the math for you on several different groups of people. And obviously, I can't cover everybody and all the what ifs and blah, blah. There's just way too many factors to talk about. But I cover 3 specific groups of people. I cover a typical family in Florida, I cover a typical renter in Florida, and I cover a typical retired couple in Florida, right? Now, that's typical, right? So, of course, there's going to be exceptions to that. The one thing that I can see people really complaining about in this, and it's hard to defend it, is your Jeff Bezos and your Donald Trumps that moved to Florida and have $100 million mansions are suddenly going to not pay sales
Property
tax
tax.
or property tax, right? And that just seems a little bit like a giveaway to the rich. If they ever sell that $100 million
You know what?
mansion,
I look at that. I know a lot of people say that, and you've done well for yourself. I don't know if you call yourself a rich man, but you've done very well for yourself. You live comfortably. And then I look at people like Dell that just donated what, $6 billion or some ungodly amount of money. That, you know what, we come down on these people that are rich, but they are the people that are funding the big deals. Your donation is welcome. You want to give $500 to your charity a year, that's going to help somebody. That's great. But when you got that kind of money to donate, those are things that move the needle. And you and I can't do that. Only super rich people can do that. And thank God we have people like that, because Jeff Bezos is very charitable. Bill Gates was very charitable. Elon Musk is very charitable. These people are giving so much money away that it would blow your mind. And you and I can't fill that gap. We need
No.
that.
Yeah.
So I don't have anything against rich people. I am all capitalism. I was not born with a silver spoon in my mouth. I've worked my butt off for every penny I've got, and everything I do today, I'm still working my butt off at 66 years old. So you know what? Keep working and quit complaining, and everything will be just fine.
That's right. That's
Right.
right.
I got to run, man. Hey, happy New Year to you. I'm super excited about the new year, and I love following your blog, man. I'm into it very much. Let's see how that turns out.
Awesome. Hey, man, happy New Year. Talk to you
New
next
Year
year.
to you too. All right.